Hey YouTube, this is Nashtaters. Welcome back to another episode of War of Divisions. So today's Tuesday, and tomorrow is going to be a great day because not only I'm trying to go after Sakura, but I think a lot of people are going to be happy because they're probably going to be going after Sakura as well. Even if I don't get Sakura, I'm still okay with it. But Wednesday's always been a happy Wednesday for me, and hopefully it's a happy Wednesday for everyone else. Now today's episode, I actually really want to talk about something that's in the front line. This should be Frontline episode 8, but something that perhaps a lot of us have been looking forward to. And with this inauguration of implementation of quality of life change for this game, I feel like it's a great time to kind of piggyback on that idea and go over some of the units in this game. But also I'm going to show you some summons in this video because it's the end of the week and I did my summon for the 2000 pay gem banner in which I can get a esper / vision card combination. So we'll show you footage of that, and of course I'm going to do some more summons for Thancred. I'll do a quick house cleaning now, as someone actually mentioned to me that I shouldn't be sleeping on the new unit, which is Alim, whatever you want to call her. Essentially, this unit actually is going to be a cost 65 unit, which means that she's going to be double costing in terms of gaining her shards by spending Visiors on her. So I'm not sure if this is the theme for the game, but it seems like all the doubled MR units are all of lightning quality or lightning element. So that's something very interesting that someone else also noticed. I don't think I'm really sleeping on her. I just feel like maybe it's just a unit that I really don't care too much about because there are already plenty of Dragoons in the game, but she is actually highly ranked and she can do some good damage, and she has a pretty nice combination of sub-jobs along with her as well. So I think in the future perhaps we can talk about her. I mean, honestly, she does look pretty cool though. But while we're here, this is something I really actually wanted to talk about, and that is the imbued fragments of thought make their debut. An awakening item for URs of MR rarity or below can be used as a replacement for fragments of thought. This is going to be a big change in that essentially this is something everyone's been dreaming about for a very long time. So to kind of go alongside with this new change coming, I want to talk about some of the units perhaps that we should be contemplating about building, and not necessarily just to build, but have an idea and reason why we're building them. But before we go over all that, let's go ahead and show you the footage of my summons for the 2000 pay gems banner. Alright, so that was that. I think I got alright stuff from it, but ultimately I used the pay gems to essentially use to get the ticket in which I can get 1,000 or 1,000. I wish it was 1,000. 100 shards of a vision card. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Let's talk about what exactly units should we be using these new stones on, right? Now clearly a lot of people already have a lot of units on their minds and which ones to kind of build and work on. Personally, I already have a few built, right? I got these 7 units built. Now, Etra, I really kind of got her for TMR, and that's actually going to be the theme of the day. Which units to kind of go for in terms of TMR. My first goal is going to be getting Fina done because I really like Charm in this game, and because of the fact that I have Rosa and she's a really good supporting unit, using her for Charm is a potential and especially in harder stages like Porcelain Tower and such. So I think this is going to be a great idea for me. And since all the buffs, abilities, status, ailments are based off of faith of your unit and the faith of your enemy unit, therefore she's going to have 97 faith, and this is going to be a perfect weapon for her in harder difficulty. In conjunction with that theme, there's another unit that I'm thinking about raising, and not because she's powerful or anything like that, but because she also has an excellent Trust Master, Doom Granted. Now, many of you guys know Nash is a humongous fan of dooming people, because Doom is cool, and Doom should be the new trend for everyone, I feel like, especially really nasty challenges like the challenge that we're about to face, part 3, of course, Porcelain Tower, and of course, anything that requires potentially dooming people. But bear in mind, not everybody is susceptible to doom. So I think that's going to be the bows that I'm going to be working on. And then working with that theme, there is another unit in this game that, well, I guess you guessed it by now, has the Doom Granted weapon. Now, this is a great sword. So units like Odoa, units like KOR Stern are going to be the ones that essentially I want them to be dooming people. And I think this is kind of cool because if you can land Doom, you essentially guaranteed a knockout over a period of time. So if your tanks can hold the aggression, then those units will be dead after only a few turns. Kind of like a countdown meter over their head that suggests, hey buddy, you're going to be dead very soon, so do it as best as you can. Now, in terms of other TMRs, I personally feel like we should go after things that makes more sense in helping boosting either PvP concentration or PvE concentration. Now, clearly, all the ones that I've gone so far are going to be concentrating on PvE, because I don't really think, generally speaking, in PvP content, your unit's going to last long enough, or your enemy unit's going to last long enough for something like Doom. But one of the units that are very, very good in this game is Gafgarion. Now, a lot of you either have him, and perhaps those of you who are joined recently most likely won't have him. But his sword is very good because it offers confusion, and confusion is actually really, really good. Yesterday in my guild war, I actually lost. Even though I took down one of their units and sustained a large amount of damage to the other 2 units, I still ended up losing the fight because they were able to get a confusion off of my tank. So Ishtala, which is the unit we're currently given the opportunity to maximize, I think she's going to be another target for me because check this out. The Night Seeker, which I originally wanted to build, it offers silence. All you got to do is go up to their face and smash them in the face in a grand silence. I think this is a great weapon, even though it doesn't offer very high magical attack power, but just the fact that you can silence an enemy unit who is a caster essentially can take them out of battle. The next unit I actually want to touch up on is Ramada. Now, a lot of folks actually requested a review on her, and that's one thing I want to talk about as well. A lot of you probably noticed that I actually essentially stopped doing review videos. The biggest reason is because I always felt like everyone were doing review videos without having access to the unit, whether it be, you know, either level 99 and have access to all their skills so you can showcase them in battle and things like that. Just looking at a unit and reviewing what they do on paper doesn't really give justification how good that unit actually could be. I think someone needs to actually have some experience with that unit in order to be considered making a solid review video. So going forward, now we have the opportunity to start building MR quality or less units. I think it's a good idea for me to start doing more review videos for those of you who are hesitant in pulling triggers and on which units to be building. Now for her, I think her lance is actually quite good for me because I'm a humongous fan of sleep, and I know a lot of people prefer paralyzed or perhaps even disabled. Now I cannot concur the fact that, well, actually let me rephrase that. I cannot disagree with the fact that disabled is by far the most powerful ability in this game. But sleep is actually quite good, especially in terms of farming. If you can sleep the very last unit, that unit absolutely does nothing. Even a disabled, essentially the same thing as sleep, because they're both incapacitated 100%. With paralyzed, they still have a chance to actually get out of paralyzed while they're paralyzed, move and attack. So while you're trying to farm for those purple crystals, sleep or disable are probably your best bets. Now I think I'm going to stop here because obviously there's tons and tons of more units to go after. And I think this specific video is really just targeting the idea of going after weapons that can offer debuff abilities. Perhaps in another video in the future, I will cover like the different armors and whatnot that can actually help you perhaps turn the tide of battle. Now I'm going to finish off with some summons, and of course we're going to do more Thancred, because everybody knows Thancred really loves me, and hopefully I can love him back. I have 45, so let's get started. Skipping animation on this because there's no reason to watch animation. No Thancred. Looks like my luck is finally dying down, and the game wants me to start spending Visiors on getting a shard, which I refuse to do. Ah, speaking of Thancred, he is back again. 20. $40? Nothing here. Ah, 10. Let's just do the 5. Watch I get an actual unit. That'll be pretty funny, right? Nope, nothing. So I got 25. So not too shabby for 45. Let's see how many days we have left in order to do more of this. So it looks like we have one more week to do this. So that's essentially going to be 70 here plus the 30 from the raid. So that will give me 100. So 100, folks. That means I have a chance to perhaps get a bunch of more shards of Thancred. And even though I'm not going to be building him, at least good to know that you have that option. Another 100 here. So hopefully maybe I'll get to 400. So therefore at least I can limit break 5 him in the future. Or excuse me, limit break 4 him. Alright, that's all the time I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoy stuff. If you guys want to support this channel further and you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button. And for those of you who are already subscribed, hit that bell for further notifications, such as my stream on Friday nights. And remember, time is your most valuable resource. So spend it wisely. Until next time, take care of yourself and all your loved ones. Nashtater and his family out of here. Peace.